All right, welcome everybody. Glad to have you back here in the Survive and Thrive workshop platform. We're going to have a awesome demonstration today from Varun at Venga Climbing around digital membership engagement. Just wanted to give you guys a quick update on what's been going on in the Hoove app since we ended the workshop formally about a little over a week ago now. People are still in there chatting, so hopefully you can dive back in, answer some questions, ask some questions yourself. We've had a bunch of messages, still having people meet up, and a lot more photos getting posted. So dive back into that app, or if you weren't there for the live event, where you do have the on-demand tickets available. So jump over there, grab your on-demand tickets, and take part in that conversation. There's some really good discussions happening, and we'll continue to deliver these extra sessions and product demos for you in the future as well. What you guys will have access to that app for the next 6 months still. So get in there and help each other out, and we'll be there to help you as well. Um, when you're in that app, we still have that photo contest going on. Our great sponsors still are working with our passport contest, and they still have a bunch of awesome offers for you. I saw like coupon codes in there, free months of services from certain people, lots of great offers. So go check out our sponsors in that app. As I mentioned today, we'll be hearing from Varun at Venga Climbing. They've got a digital membership engagement platform to help you guys connect with your members and bring back that sense of community that you'd like to have. So without further ado, I'm going to hand this over to Varun, and I will see you guys on the end of this call. Hey, Varun, I think you're still muted. Let's see here. Sorry for this, everyone. Just a little technical difficulty. Will we get Varun unmuted here?
Okay, sounds good. Can you guys hear me now, Garnett?
We gotcha.
Okay, sounds good. I recently heard someone wanted to make a shirt that said like 2020, you're muted. So I think of that every time I can't unmute myself. Yeah, hey everybody. First time doing a large demonstration like this, but hopefully it goes well. Yeah, I'm reporting live from the desert over here. Hopefully just offer you guys some ideas, some tools of how to keep growing your community in this very different landscape. Yeah, so let's see, it's about 1:04. I think we're going till about 1:30 here. So I'm gonna run through the demo for about 15, 20 minutes, try to explain a little bit about us, about Venga, our philosophy, kind of what we can offer. And then after that, I'd love to open the discussion to any questions you guys have, like feel free to pop them in the chat as we go along. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. So I will share my screen here. Ooh. Garnett, can you guys see it, just to confirm?
Yep, that's perfect.
Okay, awesome. Awesome, yeah, so Venga, over here at Venga, our basic philosophy, which I think resonates with a lot of gym operators, hopefully, is that the number one way to sustainably grow your business and to grow your gym is through memberships. And yeah, membership growth is the most sustainable way to grow. I think most people agree on that. And community, a really strong community. So what we try to do, we try to make tools for you guys to help take the climber who joins, who maybe stays on for 6 months, and maybe would leave. And the question is, how do we get that person to stay on for a year or 2 years, or even become a lifelong climber? So that's really our goal. I mean, I can't say necessarily we're going to do that for every gym, but that's what we're striving to do here. So we have a few different parts of our platform I'll go over. You see here, this is an app kind of available for your climbers. If you want to partner with Venga, you guys get an app. It's on the iPhone and Android store, and it provides social media, like beta sharing, leagues, stats. I'll go over all of that. And then on the back end, you guys get a whole host of like pretty tools, route setting tools, options to like create leagues, analyze data about your members, and learn more about what's happening in your gym. Hopefully help you cater that experience to more of your membership population. Yeah, so to dive right into it, you can see here, this is one of our partner gyms, Hive. You all can feel free to download the Venga Climb app yourself. It's publicly available. mess around, not a problem. Yeah, so you can see we have beta videos. You can climbers can post these, setters can post these maybe as like intended beta. Especially now with social distancing, maybe a way to like connect with your climbing crew or connect with your setters who you might not be able to see in the gym the way you used to. You can track your projects, and then the bulk of this gym tab is it's kind of like mountain project for your gym. You can see all of the different areas in your gym broken out by the area and then the specific wall. And then at the bottom, there's some circuits as well. So, if you're a V2 climber, you can.
Yeah, well, maybe like my thought was.
No worries. Sounds like just some noise there, but all good. Yeah, I'll just keep going. So, yeah, if you're a beginner climber, you can hop into the beginner circuit, keep track of the problems you've completed, things like that. But yeah, if you hop into an area like the slab wall, you can see there's pictures, kind of showing the wall. You guys can change those at any time. This is kind of like a live view of all the climbs up in your gym. So you can send them, climbers can keep track of what they're working on. All this data gets collated for you guys. And this is also for a climber, how they would participate in a league. It's basically just keeping track of what they're working on. Yeah, there's pictures, comments, things like that. You can see community ratings. Yeah, just flying through it. I think we're going for a little bit of an abridged demo since there's really a lot to cover. Yeah, so how do you manage all this data, right? Like, is this going to be a huge time burden for your team? Is your setting team who doesn't like technology and who, is stretched thin since they're low staffed less than before and they have all these problems to update, like, is there going to be a big burden for them? So yes, certainly, like, keeping this database up to date is a little bit of probably the biggest time investment you'll make on Venga, but we recognize that and we've worked hard to make the process as easy and frictionless as possible. So basically on your phone, on the mat, a front desk staff, a setter, really anybody can pull up their phone, they can hit add route, and then when there's a new set, they can basically go through. All you have to put in is the grade, the color, and the setter. So it's not like you're spending minutes for each route. Each route you can get through in just a few seconds. You just hit save down here. You can also, if you want, you can snap a picture for posterity. You can add a route name, or you can add these tags. So another way for your climbers to see what's you guys. The routes, and then there's a reason you go here, select all, you can archive all of the climbs. So basically our idea is everything on the phone, on the mat, hopefully don't take up too much of your time in keeping this up to date. Cool. So yeah, hopping through. Garnet, let me know if I'm breaking up at all.
Yeah, you're doing okay so far. If you wanted to cover that last little bit of data entry though, again, maybe in a little bit more detail, I think that'd be kind of interesting to see how that works.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, I am cognizant about time as always. This is normally a longer demo, but yeah, so essentially the idea is you do it on your phone on the mat. So, if there was a full reset, you hit edit to kind of edit the problems of a certain area. And then, usually it's a full strip. So you'd select all the climbs and archive them. So they're kept around for posterity for you guys to analyze, but they're removed from kind of the live set of climbs. And then you just hit add route, you add the routes individually. And then if you want to publish it, we'll send in a notification to all your climbers like, hey, there's 8 new problems up on the slab or on the mess. And then if they're home, chilling on the couch, watching Netflix, they can log in and actually preview all the climbs, maybe mark off the ones they want to work on so that, when they only have an hour and a half at the gym, they can already have watched videos and gotten stoked about this awesome Blue 5 that Kieran set up, and it actually looks pretty fun. Yeah, so let me move on to leagues. It doesn't take too long to load here, but yeah, leagues are really our bread and butter here at Venga. I think the rest of it, a lot of our competitors offer similar kind of social media aspects, but leagues are really where we've seen the most engagement. We really believe in leagues, and we have a very robust platform for you guys. So yeah, everything is distanced now. Comps have been canceled. In-person events have been canceled. So what are like the digital events you guys can run? So our model is basically normally an ongoing league. So let's say 4 weeks, 6 weeks, you can do teams or you can have an individual league. And basically climbers come in on their own time and just mark off what they're sending. So every day they'll come in. These are all the climbs eligible for the league. They can just go in, take off what they're sending. Maybe they get a flash bonus. And you basically get points for the climbs you send based on the difficulty of the climb, as well as whether you flashed it or second try, third try. Yeah, and so let me just flesh out the league a little bit. So this is the league page. You get like a leaderboard, all the teams up in your gym. I think one of the fun things about a digital platform is it's all live. You guys can actually project this to a monitor in your gym if you want to. No more like paper scorecards, tallying them up, sending them to your marketing person so he can email everybody, like handle all of that. If you click through to a team, on the overview, you can see a list of all the people on this team as well as their V grades. You guys can give bonus points for like, best mask or best costume or whatever it is. There is like team chat. And you can see for each set, there's a lot of transparency we afford in terms of why people are getting points. So yeah, most of our leagues are really run on the honor system. So other teams, your admins can go through and kind of keep track of what everyone's sending and see exactly why everybody, got the points they did for each league set. Yeah, so that's the leaderboard. League scoring tends to get pretty complex. So I think another benefit of our platform that we really refined over like running leagues in all these facilities over the past year is trying to be very clear. And there's every single league we run, there's something that comes up. There's always something. And so over time, we're trying to refine it, make it better, and make it as smooth as possible for you guys to save you the time. But yeah, long story short, like all this information is here right on the app, so your climbers can refer back to it. They can understand exactly how our VMAX handicap scoring system works, exactly the percentage bonus points, and then exactly like all the information about their VMAX and how the team points work. It just gets complicated, so we try to really like centralize all of that for your participants. Yeah, and then in terms of being, like more of a frictionless experience, we're really trying to move toward a model where you guys can handle everything on your own. We're taking the onus off your team so that you don't need somebody like full time, like going into the gym, collecting paper scorecards. So if you guys get complaints from members, like, Daniel's not a V3 climber, he's a V5 climber. You can say, okay, well, let me get in here. Well, actually, yeah, like Daniel did flash a V5. And you can make your own rules for bumping, but if you feel the need to bump him, you can just hop in here, hit edit VMAX, and you can adjust that like right here on the app. So basically we want to give you guys the flexibility to make sure you have a smooth league. Like stuff is going to come up. It's going to be, I don't know, accusations of cheating, or this team logged points before the gym opened, or I need to switch my team. So we try to give you guys tools so you can hopefully manage everything pretty effectively and save you some time there. But yeah, rolling through the rest of the league. That's really it. These are all the climbs eligible for the league. Often it's like every week there'll be a different set. It often tracks the most recent area that was reset. So if you guys have a reset schedule every week, every 10 days, fully flexible based on how you guys are setting. And we also have a chat, which we actually introduced recently with COVID, but it's a good place for people to hop in with any administrative questions, any like thing about the league. If they want to talk, congratulate someone, this is a good place where the whole league can hop in. And you can hop in here as well. And if any admin makes a comment, like you can see here, Kate is kind of clarifying some rules. We'll actually email all the participants just to make sure that information is communicated in a timely fashion. Cool, yeah, so we got about 4 more minutes here for the demo, but I'll just briefly show kind of the back end. Yeah, so here on the back end, you can see like these would be all the routes available in your gym. You can track them by like the style of the route, dynamic, technical, endurance, power, things like that. You can sort of section it out by crux holds, or maybe by circuit, like these are the different circuits in the gym. Or you can just see kind of a grade distribution. And then below that, you can see these are all the actual climbs live in the gym. And if you want to click through to one, you can see the picture of it, how popular it was, how hard it was in this set, the flash percentage. Your setters can really dive in, and hopefully you can start to learn like which areas of the gym are people climbing on? Like, is our investment in setting paying off? Like what can we do to better cater our gym to our membership population? So often this was just like a feedback card in gyms, I think, but we aim to give you guys a little bit more data for you to make these decisions about very important decisions about your business. And then, the last thing on this screen is you can kind of filter climbs. So as you can see now, we're looking at the current routes, but if you wanted to look at the routes from the past year, you can do that. And then this will update. And if you want to section it off by like, let's look at all of Andreas' routes from the past year, you can do that. So you can really dive in and section off whatever data you want. And then you can analyze the data however it makes sense for you guys. The last thing I wanted to show you really quickly is kind of the league dashboard. So here you can dive in, you can see kind of a snapshot of your league. And a lot of the same stuff you did on the app, you can also do here in terms of changing teams, updating VMAX, removing a participant. If you want to chat, you can hop in here, see like the league chat, chat with each individual team if needed, things like that. This is fairly new, but we're pretty excited about it. Actually, our gym partners report that it gives them a lot more flexibility and ability to administrate their leagues themselves. And if your question is like, how do we make a league? Like how much time is it? It used to be a very personalized process for us, but these days we have this online setup, so you guys can hop online. You can set, like the name, the route type, start date, and then you can basically go through this flow, and you can see here the type, the nights, the sets, the divisions, the scoring. You can really do it all yourself, and if you need to edit this at any time before the league starts, you can do that as well. So no need to hop too deep into league setup, but I just wanted to kind of give you guys a really quick preview. That was a very, very abridged kind of version of our demo, but I think we're right about 20 minutes here. So I'd love to open it to discussions, like learn about you guys and how you're continuing to build that community. Any questions anybody has about what we support, anything like that, like more than happy to discuss.
Yeah, and anyone out there, feel free to either unmute yourself or just throw your question, type it right into Whova. If you're viewing on Facebook, you can always join us over in Whova for an even better experience and be able to ask your own questions. If you need to ask questions in the future, I'm sure Varun will be available to you, or you can just check out Venga directly online. Start throwing those questions in. While we wait for that, I had one question for you, Varun. I believe you'd said that you had a few gyms running at-home portions of their league during the closures so that they could keep people engaged even though they might not be able to make it to the gym full-time. I'd love to see how you helped gyms set that type of a system up.
Great question. So earlier this spring, around like the April-May timeframe, when all gyms were closed, we kind of adapted our platform to be able to support like an at-home hangboard league. And we had some fun competitions, like we ran one in Colorado between these two gyms, and they just had every week or every day actually, you could do like pull-ups or push-ups and hangboard timing and kind of record that in like a league format. We actually are kind of moving away from that as gyms are reopening. We couldn't quite find a way to integrate like the at-home part with the Boulder League in a way that made sense. So we're hoping as gyms are reopening that the in-person leagues are kind of the way to go for now.
All right. And then do you find gyms charging for participation in these leagues, or do they typically offer it as just a value to their existing members?
Yeah, that's a good question too. And we've actually seen it happen both ways. I think that, we think of Venga as fairly cheap. And if do you want to charge for the league, like $10 a participant or something, it becomes pretty quick to recoup your costs. We have seen that, this is an obvious point, but if you don't charge for your league, you'd see a lot better signups. And we tend to think that, offering leagues just as an ongoing part of people's memberships, like we have a league every month or every 2 months since they're so easy to set up, is more of a way of increasing the value of your memberships rather than charging a one-time fee. But I will say some of our partners do charge for all of their leagues, and it works pretty well for them.
All right. And then have you done any research or noticed any most successful time frame to run a league, whether it's a couple days or a couple months, anywhere in between? Any of those most successful when it comes to resonating with the members?
Yeah. So I think that we tend to recommend 4 to 6 weeks. I think that it's a nice long chunk of time where, like, especially for a team league, you can have some excitement. Like there can be 4 to 6 different sets. People can go up and down in the rankings. It's every week there's a fresh set. And then longer than 6 weeks, it I think can drag on a little bit, and some of the initial excitement could kind of wane out. Venga, you can totally support like single day events, single day comps. But we really find that the 4 to 6 week league is a great way to just get people kind of stoked about coming into the gym, like trying a little harder, just give them a reason to try a little bit harder and give a climb that extra push kind of thing.
All right. And when it comes to creating, in Venga, do you support teams or just individual climbers, or both?
Yeah. So we support teams and individual climbers. We really have a goal of supporting any kind of league you want to run in any gym. Not that we do that yet, but we offer support for different scoring systems, for teams versus individuals, for specific days versus continuous leagues, like flash bonuses. We actually automatically bump people. If you're using a handicap scoring system, we can automatically bump people every week based on their performance. We support all kinds of different league parameters like that.
Okay. And does Venga offer any support when it comes to creating those teams, or is that generally up to the gyms and their marketing manager as to what the best strategy is for creating teams?
Yeah, so usually, sometimes if a gym is charging for a league, they'll manage it themselves and then create the leagues on the back end. But usually what happens is that they just open up team signups for anybody. That was the case for this most recent league, since they have like over 140 participants. It's being run across 4 different gyms. And so, they have like 30 or 40 teams. And the easiest thing was to just open it up and say, everybody you can make your own team. You can join someone else's team. It's just totally kind of like a free for all.
Yeah. And when it comes to grading, do you do everything by V grade, or do you have the ability to offer like difficulty systems, whether it's like a star-based system or a symbol-based system? How do you handle different grading styles?
Yeah. So we support circuits. Like the gym in Canada, Hive, they use like a hex system. So if you guys don't want to use a V system and just want to exclusively use like a star or a symbol system, that is something we support as well. It's a little bit not as fleshed out, I will say, maybe, since we don't have as many gyms using a symbol system, but it's certainly something that we do support in the platform.
Awesome. Have you noticed a difference in user participation between V-graded leagues and circuit leagues?
That is hard to say. I'm not sure.
Yeah. All right. Back on that grading side of things, you showed really briefly the ability to do a VMAX scoring system. It might be good to explain that a little bit more, and kind of give people an idea of like how that's used in a league to help handicap people and create a level playing field.
Cool. Yeah, that's a good point. So I guess the idea is that, especially in a team league, right, if you don't want to limit people to only be able to climb with climbers in their own division or their own kind of climbing ability, it becomes very difficult to use like a normal scoring system. So essentially the idea of the VMAX or handicap system is it's kind of like golfing or something, where you have like your ability level. So what we say is like, what is the climb grade that you can normally send in 5 attempts or less? So maybe it's like V5 for somebody. right? So if you're a V5 climber, you get 100 points for a V5 climb. If you're a V8 climber, you get 100 points for a V8. And if you're a V2 climber, you get 100 points for a V2. So essentially the idea, the goal is to let everybody compete. So if it's your first time in the gym, you know, or if you're scaling, you know, Indian Creek Towers, like people can compete against each other and just have a good time and hopefully not have to worry too much, especially with our automated bumping system about what grade am I exactly, you know, just concentrate on like the community and the fun and just getting better. And when we bump people, we try to focus on like, you know, not that you're going to get less points for all your climbers now, but rather that for all your climbs now, but you actually got stronger, you know, and that's kind of the goal of this league is to help you get stronger, to make friends, find project buddies. So we really try to focus on like the community and the fun aspect of it instead of the uber competitive, you know, like who's in first kind of thing.
Yeah. Got another question here around the cost. So
Cool.
what is the pricing structure on Venga?
Yeah, so we charge $139 per month per gym. And for gyms that are willing to go in with us a little bit, that maybe after a few months they see the value, our yearly pricing is $79 per month. And I guess how we kind of arrived at that is we're like, you know, if you can retain one member through Venga, it pays for itself. And we strongly believe and have a little bit of data, initial data showing that we actually help you retain quite a bit more than that. So yeah, it's basically $139 per month per facility or down to $79 per month with a longer term commitment.
Awesome. This will be a much harder question you might not have data around yet. Other than member retention, obviously a big challenge facing gyms these days is the need to unfreeze currently frozen memberships. Have you heard any anecdotal evidence from gyms that have started leagues in the last few months that has helped them bring members back into the gym and to unfreeze their memberships?
Yeah, it's a tough question, and I think, you know, all gym operators and Venga, we all want more data. I can share one story of a gym in California that we got an email from one of their members that it was about something else, but through the email they communicated that they had actually upgraded their membership in the middle of a Venga league, and kind of directly attributed it to the Venga league. And I think both the gym operator and us saw that as like a sign that, you know, this particular league at that particular community was working fairly well and was actually encouraging people to actually change their memberships. So we have one-off stories like that. I'm not going to say we have like a ton of data we can give you, but we do have some anecdotal stories like that.
Yeah, well, these days, even one unfrozen membership, I'm sure would be welcome for
That's
any gym
fair.
out there.
That's fair.
Well, I really appreciate you having you with us today, Varun. We're getting close to the end of our time, so I was just going to
Sounds
remind
good.
everyone who came to that Survive and Thrive workshop that we're still looking for some feedback from you. So if you haven't had a chance to take our survey yet, it's maybe 3-5 minutes max. It'll really help us shape future events and get you guys the information that you need the most. If you're viewing this in Huva, make sure you go check out our sponsors. Go check out Venga's offers that they have available in Huva right at this moment. They've got a great deal for you guys. So click on over there and send Varun a message, and he'll be available, I'm sure, in the future to ask any questions. Thank you very much for joining us today. If there's any other questions in the chat, we'll hang out for a few minutes to answer any of those. And I will see all of you guys on our next community call on September 29th at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. Have a great week.